Hey, yo, what's good with it, y'all? It's your boy, Mistah Wilson, and you are now tuned in to Wilson Block 100 Radio. And we got Rufio on the block with us today. You know what I'm saying? What's good with it?
What's up? What's up?
Chilling, man. Glad to have you here with us for this exclusive interview with the Wilson Block, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man,
that.
yeah. So, how you been?
I'm good. Considering the world on lockdown
Right.
and us having to, I guess, social distance. That's a whole
I guess, right, yeah.
That's a whole different spice rack, though.
Yeah, and it is, you know what I'm saying? But real quick, man, this about your story, you know what I'm saying, and your background, and for our audience listening, man, can you just, give us a quick background on yourself?
Shit. 39 years old. Grew up in the Filipino black community in the south end of Seattle,
Yeah.
right off of Empire Way, which is known as Martin Luther King Way South.
Okay.
Zip code 98118. Zip code 98144, 91122. Central District, CD in the south end.
Through and through.
Up in the 90s and early 2G. Wow.
Yeah.
Shit, 80s, late 80s,
Yeah.
90s.
What was life like growing up in the town, man?
I mean, for the most part, it was cool. I mean, like, I'm first generation on my mom's side, and I'm fourth generation on my dad's side.
Uh-huh.
Both sides of my family are here. I grew up with hella cousins, you know what I mean? And we all grew up like we were brothers and sisters on my dad's side.
Uh-huh.
And, I went to schools that, I saw a lot of elementary schools growing up because I was kind of a troubled kid. I wanted to learn, but teachers weren't designed to cater to alternate ways of teaching
Right.
children.
Yeah.
They just had one way, and they were like, "Yo, if you don't, catch up, then you're gonna fail."
Right.
They'll fail you for trying to learn. So,
Right. For trying, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Where you're supposed to make mistakes and shit.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. It was very sheltering, intimate in the community basis. So like the lines between, like identifying being of color or not of color, it just wasn't even talked about. It wasn't even addressed. It wasn't an issue because everybody in your whole friends, network at that time, which was just your homies who you talked to face to face, and shared stories with, that like it was supposed to be multi-ethnic.
Yeah.
It was only until like later on, like during the 90s, during like the rise of the Asian gang violence, the city ordinances,
Right.
the crackdowns on the gang unit and shit like that. When the gangs started getting real big in the 90s, we're talking about Boys in the Hood, like Menace to Society, like that era.
I mean, you was out here through that whole time.
Yeah, I was. Well, see, my brother, I have an older brother, and he's an artist as well.
Uh-huh.
Hip hop head. He goes by Apple. But growing up, we both shared a turbulent history with gang violence. I per se wasn't in a gang, but he was and had to leave the Seattle school district. Not to just put his shit out there, but
Right.
when he had to leave, he ended up moving to Hawaii after that and was gone for like 6 to 7 years.
Yeah.
So the backlash of what he had laid the foundation on as far as that gang violence shit was concerned, it was a lot to deal with growing up by myself because my dad went with him. So
Right.
all I had was my grandparents and my mom. So I had to grow up kind of quick or harden myself kind of quick.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Did you go to any of the local high schools around the Central District?
Man, I went to, I don't know. Well, I went to Zion Preparatory Academy, which was in the CD, right off of 20th Ave. I've spent like kindergarten, preschool, first grade there. Then I went to Graham Hill, which is in the south end, right off of Rainier, Graham Hill Elementary. Then they moved me out of there, had to take anger management and stuff like that, and went all the way to Queen Anne, which is like West Woodland, then Coe Elementary School, and then I went to Asa Mercer Middle School, and I finally went to middle school, and graduated from Cleveland High School.
Okay, nice.
In '99. Yeah.
Okay, class of '99 in the house. You know what it is, man.
I graduated on time, thankfully. I mean, I was 16 when I got locked up for armed robbery or attempted armed robbery and with minor possession of a firearm, and at that time they had just passed crazy ordinances and laws like fundamentally geared to put youth of color in jail and keep them there until they graduated or could be put in GP in, you know, into the adult prison system. I mean,
Right.
you're 16. I committed an A-class felony, first offense, and they tried me as an adult. They declined me automatically as an adult, right? So at 16, I was facing 14 to 36 years standard range.
At what age?
16,
Wow.
right? And
This is in Seattle.
yeah, and 5 years mandatory for minor possession of a firearm, right? Yeah, I mean, safe to say, I lucked out and did 9 months in totality, but for majority of that 9 months, I was locked up at King County, and because you were, you know, a minor being detained in an adult facility, I had to be put in solitary confinement.
Wow.
So I was locked down 23 hours a day.
Wow.
With a random hour out for either yard, shower, or be able to call.
For how long?
23 hours a day.
No, but for how long were you in that?
In that situation, I mean, my lawyers tried to push off my sentencing and you know, get me as much time served as in juvenile before they shipped me off to. But I did about like I don't know 6 months.
Oh damn.
In solitary.
Wow.
I know. Yeah.
So you know yourself very well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And I know how to leapfrog through time. I know how to knock dates off the clock. You know, just like that's why I can't sit idle. If I sit idle, I'm like, people think I'm narcoleptic because
You'll freeze.
I'll fall asleep.
Yeah. Right.
You know, if I sit idle too long, then you know, I'll just hibernate.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Like, yo, man, what's that shit yesterday? Oh, yo, that was 5 years ago. What the fuck, bro?
Right. All right, so look, let's talk about the arts, man. Let's get into the arts, okay? You know what I mean? What's your field? Where's your field at?
Oh man, it's kind of hard to say because, you know, like people separate artistic creativity by genre when it all stems from the same place. You know what I mean? It stems from the creator of the presenter of the art. You know what I mean? So it all starts off with a conceptualizing. So it's all pen form first.
Right.
You know, or drafting first. You know, be it creative writing, be it, you know, graphic, illustrative, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I started off drawing.
Oh, okay, nice.
Started off whistling and drawing. My mom said that I whistled before I could talk, and my mom is a singer. She's a fixture in the Seattle karaoke scene. Like they're hardcore. Like they're actually more musicians than people who do karaoke for a pastime. Mm-hmm. They brought written lyrics and recorded instrumentals. They brought music stands with them and knew how to read music and like made their own cues and set up and made mixtapes that night.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? I remember them having karaoke shit on 8-track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's when electric typewriters first came out and they were, you know, typing out their lyrics and shit. And they would do that fundamentally as on some American Idol on the most intimate scale possible, trying to just get a little flicker of that spark of fame and accomplishment that one feels when it comes to being exhilarated on the stage as a performer. You know what I mean? I didn't know at the time, but I was being cultivated by a very talented, multi-genre, multi-ethnic, sort of hybridized, musically eclectic family. I mean, my uncle Chris, who passed away a few years back, he was the guy, like, he had the video game, so all the kids were in his room. But he was young enough to be like, look, if you want to play video games, you got to listen to 45 minutes of vinyl. I mean, like, Shaka Khan,
No shit, right.
you know, from Shaka Khan to Otis Redding to Stevie Wonder to Malo, Confunction, you know, Latino funk, funk, like fucking Bootsy Collins, all that shit, Earth, Wind, and Fire, you know, all of the good barbecue summertime songs, like, shit, Sly and the Family Stone, everything, you know, Zapp and Roger. He gave me my first Outkast, Southern Playalistic Cadillac music. He gave me NWA for the first time. He even got me, you know, like Vanilla Ice, you know what I mean, Cold as Ice, and Hammer, Please Don't Hurt Him. I found out I found out who Babyface was, and you know, and Terminator X, and fucking all kinds of, you know, all kinds of shit. Helter Skelter, like all that shit.
Is that what got you into actually doing music?
Actually, my brother was the one who got me into the hip hop thing. You know what I mean? I was very anti man, please don't hate me, man. But I was on some, you know, I felt East Coast rhyming was a lot more rhythmically palpable for my particular taste at that time. West Coast, I was like, man, I can't just be talking about, I can't be hearing a motherfucker just talk about how many 40s, how many 40s he drinks and motherfucking you know, like
the typical bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's a reflection of their environment, but like, I wasn't about that at the time. As a matter of fact, I was reeling from it because I felt sort of abandoned. So anti-gang shit was kind of what I was about, like being hard about not being like that. And when I started smoking bud, I'm like, yeah, weed. You know, we called it bud back then.
Yeah,
you know,
call it
Chronic,
bud.
yeah, until Chronic came out, and then we started calling it Chronic. But yeah, smoking bud, and then it became fire. You know, smoking was chiefing. You know, but until we started smoking weed was like, well, we're rebelling against the system, right? We're trying to sedate ourselves, you know, from the trials and tribulations that high schoolers go through, trying to fit within their own selves. But then it was just like, yo, I got the homie from Blood over here. I got the homie from Samoan Blood over here. I got the dude from BGD over here, and I got I got a Hoover right here. And we're all smoking and we're all rhyming. What the fuck?
What's the problem?
What's the problem?
Right. Let's go.
Because we all put up $2 on this blunt, and we're smoking a whole blunt right now. Somebody's coming up, but we're all gonna be high though, and it's all good. Right. So it's really interesting the dynamic once you're around those who you choose to pack mentality around. You know what I mean? We got beef with them.
All right, but so
because we got beef with them, bro.
Right.
And then it's just beef for nothing.
But growing up in Seattle, I mean, you know, it's always been an artistic place, right? True. You've always had friends. That's my only one actually. Oh shit. Yeah, sorry. You know, I'm sure like you got a lot of friends that, you know what I'm saying, you grew up with that you know, were naturally inclined in the arts, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Oh, so I mean, you know.
So when did you like actually, you know, find your place, you know what I'm saying, in the scene? When did you actually like, you know, start doing shit?
I don't even know, man. Me and my brother, we've been dancing forever, man. Like in middle school, like it was the thing to be a b-boy or whatever. I mean, like cats was either beatboxing or they was writing raps or just trying to freestyle. I mean, I remember this dude named Nakia Ballard, who I went to middle school with. This motherfucker looked like he was at least 30. You know what I mean? He was a dirty ass dude, but that was just because of his upbringing and his lifestyle situation was not his fault. You know what I mean? But the dude had raps, and the dude was crusty as fuck. He looked like a fiend, but he had raps though, and he was hilarious. And it just kind of dominoed effect after middle school. I started becoming more comfortable with myself, my own sense of style.
Did you start performing at all?
I didn't. Man, I didn't showcase that I could sing or dance until I was a senior. Okay. After I got out of jail and all that shit, I was like, man, what the fuck am I hiding my shit for?
Wow.
But I was always an active.
What you was doing, b-boy?
I was b-boying in secret. I've always been a popper. You know what I mean? Ever since breaking came out. So I didn't like getting dirty. My brother was down on the ground and all that other stuff. I tried to do that, but
just wasn't your thing.
I just nah, man. Not when I put so much starch in my motherfucking khakis.
Right.
Like I would wear white denim. Like what the fuck am I getting on the ground for? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it was the balance between go to school looking like a scrub and you're gonna get made fun of, and I can't have that because, well, I'm hella insecure. You know what I mean? Man, I gotta hold on. I have to hold on to something.
Right.
So I don't know. Just the trying to fit in, be accepted, was a lot of my hesitance with my artwork as cultivating my artwork. But I've always been an artistic, like with the pencil. Like I've drawn all my life. Right. My dad was a drawer. My brother was a drawer. I actually would used to trace over his stuff back in the day, trying to figure out how to conceptualize my own stuff. Right. And actually, you know what? A lot of my passing in grade school, because go back to that education thing, is that like teachers weren't designed to teach you how to learn their curriculum. Right. They think that they're right. You either need to get it or not. Yeah. and I would throw a tantrum because I want to know.
Right.
They're like, if you just sit there, I remember teachers telling me this. If you just sit there and draw, I'll pass you.
Oh wow.
So I did, and that's all I did.
Oh wow. So you got good at it.
I became exceptional at
Wow.
it. Yeah, and then so I started my form of rebellion was, shit, dude. If I just with my upbringing, you know, my parents kind of fought a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They argued a lot, and so playing with Legos while you're a kid trying to you know, zone out my parents' problems.
Right.
You kind of become indifferent to higher octaves of speech.
Right.
But you also build a fundamental of communicating, like that's the way that you need to stand your ground or plead your case or tell people what you want by yelling it at them, pretty much.
Right. Sometimes that's the only way people hear,
sometimes.
You know?
But if you articulate concisely, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers can get a very sensitive subject and understand it. You know what I mean?
So
and that's the thing. It's everything is martial arts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be force at all times. It could definitely be like, oh shit, you just happen to fall against my fist.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you know.
You're lucky I took your dog out.
Why? Oh,
Sorry. She was about to.
poo poo. Man, that's her third poop today.
You're welcome.
Thank you, baby.
So at what point did you actually like, you know, make a breakout onto the scene and start doing things publicly? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it was kind of weird because like for some reason like once downtown became the spot as a b-boy, you know, because like again in middle school I grew up with you know, like homies who became this crew called ABC. ABC became it was Boss Crew first, and Boss Crew became ABC, another Boss creation. ABC became the fundamentals and building blocks, the forefathers of Massive Monkeys,
Okay.
right? And
You
there
heard
was
of them?
Massive Monkeys and Oasis Crew. Oasis Crew was some of the members were in Cleveland, but I never crewed up. I was a dancer as a popper only, and everybody was trying to do head spins and flares and shit. And,
Right.
you know, not only that, is that like what's even crazier about the 90s is that most of the Asian kids were gangsters and b-boys. So in the 90s, they created a thing called the dance ordinance, right? Because shit was popping off with the Asian gangs. Cats were getting killed all the time. Like it was hot as fuck all the time. Like people were.
What era are we talking?
We're talking about early 90s or mid 90s.
Okay.
You know, like news was telling you can't wear certain colors, bro.
Oh wow, the news was saying
yeah. Under 18-year-old nightclubs were saying that you can't wear these particular things. No baseball caps, no jerseys, no white tees, no jeans, no colored laces. You know what I mean? Shit like that. No sportswear.
Yeah.
Like, dance ordinance was, if you break dance, you're kicked the fuck out because all gang members are breakdancers.
Wow.
Because cats used to get shot up at battles because they didn't know how to lose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, heavy.
Yeah. So everybody wanted to be a thug. Everybody was pseudo dressing like they were vatos.
Right,
You know what I mean? With the Ben Davis overalls, the white tees, the mustache
the
haircuts.
the plaid.
Yeah, with the rosaries and shit, and Sharpie eyebrows and the big waves in their head, hella hairspray and shit.
Wow.
We had too much depth in our shit. When it rained, it would get in our eyes and we would get all fucked up. Wearing white visors, Carl Kanai, all that shit, Guess boots and K-Swiss boots and you know, the suede fucking Pumas, all
And
that
see,
shit.
even at this time, the graffiti scene was pretty heavy, right?
Oh, well, the graffiti scene was a whole nother spice rack because that was gravitated by, you know, a lot of the, well, I would have to say the pseudo grunge rocker skateboarder kids who were into making their own t-shirts and shit like that.
Right.
And not knowing that, you know, like okay, so when I was locked up and from early to about 2G, I think, kind of, our crew put out a VHS tape called Enter the Madness, and it was highlighting local graffiti, right? It was just a mockumentary of just graffiti culture, and it got popular enough to where we started selling it as zoomies.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Heavy.
And you know, from anything from underground footage, it was like the underground, like street fighting world star of graffiti. You know, like we got dudes like Jabber, crews like, you know, BAM Crew, THCA, OFA, ORB, you know, like all these old school, like battle heavy, time tested, like, you know, graffiti ordinance. Like they had a graffiti ordinance. Like, people would, like, if you have over $1 million worth of damage in vandalism, you are now a federal felon at this point. And and the federales have like your shit documented in folders, and will put you away for years, almost life, dog, for artwork, right? Because if you are graffitiing on
it's
somebody's
vandalism.
Shit,
That's what they
it's
call
vandalism,
it.
yeah. But they also tax the store owners. If you don't remove the graffiti, you get taxed.
That's cold game.
You know what I mean? So cats would like be keeping tabs on all the kids with skateboards. You know, like they would keep tabs on everybody at the post office who'd be like just taking the sticker labels.
Yeah.
You know, because we would slap them shits up everywhere. And the thing is that like what really made it the focal point, like there's only one place in this city that is synonymous with hip hop in my generation, and that's Westlake.
Westlake.
Yeah.
Westlake.
4th and Pine, yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it. What was it like back then?
Well, I was the black sheep of my family and of my high school, so it's like I've always wanted to find a group where I fit in and would be welcomed and a part of something. Feel like I'm a part of something, and because you know, with your blood family, you have if your family does not establish that you can be yourself candidly and be accepting of that, then you're gonna create a duality. You're gonna be half of yourself at all times. You're gonna be a yes ma'am, no ma'am, and be this unrecognizable person to your parents on the street. And that totally was my life. You know, my dad said to me that I'm not your friend, I'm your father. I never came to him for anything after that. You know what I mean? Because I needed a friend.
He was right though.
That's true, but I needed him at a time to be a friend. I needed him to be a confidant. I would tell, there was nothing I wasn't willing to share with him.
Right.
And to not know that, okay, you've drawn a line and you are an authoritative figure now more than anything.
Yeah.
I have no respect for authority. See what I mean? Especially during a rebellious stage. I don't give a fuck who you are, because it sucks that you can't choose your blood.
Yeah.
You know? But I can choose my family. Yeah. And family, by choice, is far better and far more bonding. Right. You know what I mean? It's the Isle of Misfit Toys. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. We're all broken and pieces of broken reclaimed furniture that we can hope is a meaningful vintage treasure to somebody. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so let me ask you this. You know, in your own words, what would you say, you know, how would you describe hip-hop as a genre amongst all the genres, you know?
Cause I mean, so to me personally, I mean, like, again, like I said earlier, was everybody wants to categorize, compartmentalize, and separate by genre. Yeah. But you, me, and him.
Well, hip hop, the culture, right?
Okay, rap the culture. I don't really know too much about the history of the culture, except for the fact that it started off in the late 70s. You know what I mean? In New York, as a means to have a stalemated area to party and have fun and bring in and cultivate all these artistic subgenres. Right. So that the gangs won't fucking kill each other over territory. You know what I mean?
Would you say that existed here?
Oh, it definitely did.
It definitely
did. But it rotated a lot
right.
around weed and a lot around music. It was it was only like the religious subtext type of semantics that created beef of people who wanted to
portray that.
Not even that. It's philosophize again with the theories of what they think their hood or their set represented when they're all talking about the same fucking shit.
Right, exactly.
They want to be cool, make money, smoke blunts, listen to music that they love, and be able to be themselves. Right. But unfortunately, red rags, blue flags, and all that other fucking shit, like, separated the same shade of brown that we all had. Yeah. You know what I mean? But we all like the same shade of green, be it money or weed. Right. So
Or street sign,
But
if you ask me.
you know, it's kind of like, hey, bro, I'm down with that as long as you don't call it that.
Right. Right. That's what it sounds like, huh?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
what the
right.
fuck, dog? Okay, shit. All right. Yeah, we won't call it gang shit. We'll just call it together stuff.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah. I'll keep it with this fool. But I gotta call him by a different name though. I gotta name some new shit. You know what I mean? But see, like, facing that external validation, it all kind of fell away because all different styles, all different like vocal representations was at Westlake. That's how I met A-Sun.
Yeah.
That's how I met, you know, my guy Germ. I mean, after I met with these cats for the first time, and I was able to just beatbox, do some shit that I had written.
Weren't you part of Alpha P?
Yeah, I'm part of Alpha P.
Let's go.
But originally I was just a kid who happened to find my friends, you know, find my family. Like it was not even, I don't even remember how these motherfuckers came into my life. It's just that we were just one day, and then 5 years later, we had never been without each other. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, like, shit, you're filthy, bro. And because, you know, we started sparring and be like, oh shit, okay, we're sparring. And I'm like, oh, you a monster. And then we started Kung Fu theater, and then, yo, Rufio, kick a beat. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? I almost ended up being the guy who just always kicked the beat. And I was like, damn, I want to rap too.
Right.
You know what I mean? But on the creative tip, like, you know, like from freestyle, it went to martial arts, which also went into breakdancing, but which would also listen, you know, the homies would advertise their local CDs and local creativity for donations to buy blunts so that we could all smoke and freestyle again and full circle it. And then cats would try to advertise their shit within their means because it was only MySpace and hand flyers. So cats would get stickers, which would be graffiti shit, and then it would just blend and circulate this whole different batch of gumbo of shit that was just a crazy ass, self-serving, self-perpetuating, positive network of artistic creativity, values that fortified our building blocks to become responsible and wealth-bringing economic fucking contributors to a colored community. Like a subnet.
I like the way
you know what I'm
put
saying?
that right there.
Like, yo, I just flowed that shit off the top of my head. It didn't rhyme, but man, it rhymes so nicely though, because the shit is like, that's the only way I can say it to paint a picture, because it allowed me to know that without a doctorate or without a fucking PhD or whatever the fuck, I can dress this shit up to make it look so good that where a motherfucker can hire me to be their financial consultant for fashion, or you're the fashion consultant, right? I have experience in fucking carpentry, sculpture, industrial design, three-dimensional industrial design, graphic design, carpentry, furniture architecture, drafting, photography, commercial photography, industrial photography, landscape photography. I can paint, I can draw. Fuck, man. It all started from just being positively encouraged to be your true self and to satisfy your curiosity creatively and not be condemned for making mistakes in a learning process. How the fuck am I gonna fail when I'm trying to learn how to do something?
Right.
I'm already a failure, bro. This makes me not want to give a fuck about what the fuck you ever have to say. Because you're my teacher? Because you're my dad? What the fuck does any of these titles mean to me? Because, yes, we have to earn each other's respect. You just can't demand this shit from me, man. Fuck that. I smoke blunts. I smoke blunts to rebel against the system that you created. Fuck your whole shit. Why don't you smoke weed no more? This shit's legal. Where's the rebellion? I don't need to be sedated. What the fuck am I trying to prove? Sorry, I just got heated real quick because passionately.
So Seattle legalizes weed and you stop smoking weed. Look.
What the fuck is the point? The means to get it as an artist around the system, tax free, is part of the challenge of why a hustler is because we don't have to report to no man about what the motherfucking money that we deserve and we can get by our own means, especially from nothing. just a shiny sentence and a little bit of Sharpie play on a CD, 10 tracks, local artists, you just opened yourself to Blade's vampire world. Once you see them, you can't unsee the scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had so many motherfuckers come up here from Cali and be like, man, does the hip hop have a scene here? Like, you don't even know. It's almost as intimate as Eskimo cousins on a small island. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man, fuck her, but that's okay, man. Shit, like, you know, like not to be all cis male and fucking, what is it? Bullshit patriarchy.
So what would you say are like some of the best venues out here?
Some of what was the best venues, man. It all depends on what for. I mean, like for an actual hip hop show. Yeah. If you wanted capacity of crowd, cats was hitting the festivals, Bumper Shoot, The Bite. You know what I mean? Hit stages at Hempfest. Yeah. That's what made a killing right there. Right. Exposure, because we old school and new school at the same time. We're Generation X. We're the ones right before we saw the birth of the internet. Right, exactly. We know how smartphones work, and we know how to capitalize on the platforms of social media and such like that. But I will tell you that we still keep it old school. Like, I like to pay my rent face to face if I were to be paying rent. Right. And I like to do it in cash. Right, let's go. You seen me seen you. Right. Let's not make this. Okay, oh, so you're trying to change your paper trail, huh? Right. You see me seen you. Okay. So, you know, old school hood tactics. You don't want me to unsee you, homie. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's have an honor system. You see me, you, homie. Like, they think that rusty rationale is...
It's like analog.
It's very threatening, but it's like, look, I trust a pressing button than a sound of a click on a screen that may be cracked and I can't see no results. Right. You know what I mean? Right. A good switch lets me know for sure that the shit is on. Right. Just because the screen is dark and the power button light up don't mean shit to me. You know what I mean? Right. Like, hold up, what's taking so long? I'll press that motherfucker 4 or 5 times. Yeah. Like, you gotta wait.
Or what about venues for the B-boy back in the day?
Oh man, for the B-boys, shit. See, my brother, he got into the B-boy scene a lot colder than I did. He's a phenomenal dancer. He started a crew called Core, Children of the Rain crew, COR, and we used to throw. It was a annual battle called Breaking Ground. It originally started as Battleground, but because we couldn't use the word battle because battle pertained to gun-related, right. Hip-hop, breakdancing violence, you know what I mean? Especially in RB, you know what I mean? When the gang unit was on, fucking hot red alert, you know what I mean? Like, these motherfuckers, any car that had ethnic minorities in it, 3 deep, is getting pulled the fuck over. Wow. Just growing up.
It was like that out here.
It was like that. Like, all black fucking, Crown Vic with all black. The cops who wore black were gang unit. Now all the cops wear black. You know what I mean? Like these cats looked like SWAT. Right. And these cats were big bouncer SWAT team looking motherfuckers. My uncle Pac-Man was one of the gang unit, which was kind of
for Seattle Police.
Yeah. I mean, shit. He has a lot of kids, and on my side of the family, on my dad's side of the family, like we're not. We those other kind of Filipinos. Right. We don't talk like that. Right. We talk exactly how the fuck I talk. Right. They're from the CD and they're from the fucking South Beacon Hill. They're from RB and motherfucking Henderson and they'll drop a nigga too and then not even worry about it.
What's RB?
Oh, Rainier Beach.
Okay.
Yeah. So like the thing is that like sometimes I forget myself and I have to be cognizant about about my looseness with my words, especially when it comes to the sensitivity of others, especially the way that shit's going today with race and all that other shit. Because I'm apparently fucking old school now, even though I still think like I'm fucking 22 and shit. Right. I freely drop N-bombs once in a while, and my lady here, Miss Nikita, she'd be like, "You can't say that." And I'd be like, "Shit, I ain't been checked before." All my other, ain't checked me, so sorry, my bad. I forget myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I don't mean offense. I'm just, I'm from the hood. Right. It is what it is. So
So I mean,
I'll explain it to you, bruh, if you want. But
Yeah.
it's cool, man. I'd rather not raise your hairs. I'd rather just
right.
chill and continue to drink and maybe have a cigarette
Right.
and share one with you. Doesn't mind. Yeah, man.
no
What
doubt.
about lo-fi? Did you guys ever?
Oh, man,
put
that was the
that's
spot,
I've seen
man.
a lot of the b-boys stuff.
Yeah,
At.
Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
That was our spot.
That was you
man.
probably. It was
I mean, I
probably
was
you
there.
then.
Well, I had longer hair back then.
Well, no, the last time I went was like last year,
Okay. Wow.
and it was like a new scene. A-Sun was always rapping and
Yep.
DJing and doing his little
Yeah.
MC.
And the b-boy thing is, yeah, I would show up off and on, but I've been out of the scene for a minute because I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Like, I was starting to drink a fifth a day, and I was like, yo.
That boy.
And the one that I was with at the time, you know what I mean? She put some things in perspective. She's like, check this out. That's you over there. And I was like, ooh, that's embarrassing. Oh, Catholic shame.
Lo-fi definitely top
Yeah.
10 for
Oh, sure.
artists.
Yeah.
For me out
Yeah.
here in Seattle.
Yeah, it was Numos for venue when it comes to like
Yeah.
performing in front of
Lo-fi.
crowd.
That's on East Lake.
Yeah. Lo-fi if you wanted to get down with the b-boys. The War Room was the spot though. I give not a fuck. The War Room was on. Wow, it's right off of Pine.
Mm-hmm.
Pine, like, man. So there's these two spots called the Maharaja and the War Room. And the War Room was, man, it's right by the QFC that is north of Cap Hill,
Capitol Hill.
right?
Doing on Broadway.
Yeah. So where the old BMW dealership used to be, there was a small Indian restaurant called Maharaja. That's where me and a lot of the Alpha P cats used to be at every day. Every day and every night
On Broadway.
on Broadway at that spot. Like, we would be there, get fucked up, and be in that parking lot. There's been a fight or two.
It was on Broadway and Pike or Pike?
Yeah, nah, man. See, goddamn my dyslexia.
Because that Shell was on Pike.
Okay, yeah, it's on Pike then.
Yeah.
On that corner, there's a corner spot that used to be the War Room, and the War Room was the b-boy spot. That was
Right.
like, you know, they had two levels. They
That's
had
probably where Neighbors is at.
no,
No?
no.
Okay.
I forget the new name of that spot, but anyway, like, I could leave the Maharaja, go into the War Room, surpass the line, go in, say what's up to all the b-boys, say what's up, leave, go back to Maharaja, get a drink, go back, while being strapped, and having a quarter ounce in my motherfucking pocket, and being like, hey, all right, smoke a cigarette in the club, and leave and be all good, man. And not have to worry about nothing, dog. Like, never ever. I never had to worry about drinks, and I never had to worry about cover, and I never had to worry about beef, dog. Like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
tripping. You must think that I'm alone.
Right.
Like, one time a homegirl got hit in the face.
Uh-oh.
Angel 179. She's just one of the dopest artists. She's like original Mad Crew. She does murals all over the city. Like, she's famous now and shit.
Yeah.
Working with Art Primo and stuff like that. Edward from Art Primo. Some dude hit her in the face
At a show?
at that spot
Oh,
at
shit.
Maharaja and the War Room. And we're talking about, if you didn't realize how many motherfuckers got your back, yo, that motherfucker was wrapped around the telephone pole. Like they tied him to the telephone pole after he was knocked the fuck out. It was on the news talking about it was a hate crime.
Wow.
This motherfucker ran across the street and punched my homegirl in the face. And,
Got snatched up.
yo, he didn't get snatched up. That motherfucker disappeared. To where we had the motherfucking we had the homeboy on the homeboy's shoulders talking about, get his ass! From Massive.
That's
Like-
crazy.
Like, we had the homegirl now who's an MMA fighter now.
Uh-huh.
Like, hit him with the scarf from the back, throw him on the ground and shit.
Oh,
and
shit.
Cats jumping off, doing Superman punch. Man, it was, yeah.
Wow.
Artists that were very timid as poets.
Yeah.
Like, just Hulk out and Super Saiyan real quick.
Right.
And-
If you disrespect.
Super casual, background extras in a
Wow.
Hollywood movie. You start fucking with Keanu Reeves, and everybody becomes part of squad real quick and turns
Yeah.
into the agents who happen to be on Neo's side this time.
Right.
And the whole block lights your ass up. Like, talk about community like a motherfucker. Instant gratification, community-based organization, just because their head turned sideways and was like, did a homegirl just get hit? I kind of remember her, bro.
Did a homegirl just get hit? Right, nigga turned his head like.
I think I met her one time. I forget her name though. Let's fuck that fool up.
Wow. All the time. Right.
Hey.
Let's
Now
fuck
think
that fool up.
about why things are the way that they are today. Is because they don't want us to assemble in numbers.
Right.
Word of
Facts.
mouth is hard to
Facts.
track audibly or digitally.
Yeah.
We're easily funneled information. The fear of viral contagion is much more of a self-fulfilling borderline as this shit may not be real, bro. I'm gonna tongue kiss this girl. You ain't tongue kissing nobody. You know what I mean? Because,
So what creative space are you in today?
well, see, that's the thing is that like now we are all in the creative spaces of self. I mean, Seattle was a place that, because we are so passive artistically, but so cultivating, you know, like when you're limited to your subgenre, that DJs will kick it with DJs, right? But MCs have a hard time networking with the appropriate DJ, so that we at least get some samples, so that we can take it to the cut man to make us some beats.
Yeah.
Unless he happens to be a hybridized DJ producer.
Right.
So fuck it. We become our own producers. We start learning our own music theory. We start fucking failing classes just so that we can get a fundamental, just some homework,
Yeah.
right? Because we didn't pay for classes anyway. We got that shit granted to us. And, you know what I mean? Like, we got some Pell Grant shit. So I can fail this class as long as I get the books.
Right.
So I could look at this shit at my leisure. You know? Video audio production, you know, microcomp, motherfucking, you know, Flash,
Yeah.
Photoshop, all that shit. These are not required curriculum for, you know, a degree. In
Right.
whatever the fuck. But they can still be an elective on your Pell Grant.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean? So that you can fucking cultivate your own shit.
Yeah.
So we had to become multi-genre. We had to
Right.
become triple threats, quadruple threats.
Multifaceted.
A b-boy has to be able to be a cameraman so that he can tell this motherfucker how to shoot him right.
Right.
And how to be a lighting man so that he can shoot his product right and match your motherfucking logos and shit. You know, we have to color coordinate. We have to, you know, watch Hype William videos so that we know how to utilize angles and fucking depth of field, and know how to how to adjust to letterbox. You know, how to change DPI so that we can put our shit on the web so we don't have lost format. You know what I mean? Our shit doesn't degrade over time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like things that you could, a very hood, street smart mentality that branches off into a very commercialized and, I would have to say, standard way of shit, man. Cats my generation, we own this motherfucker now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some motherfuckers have lost their ways, but it never in my wildest dreams that I think that Washington Hall would be a place run by my cousin / homie, or responsible because of Danny, right? King Kaz,
Yeah.
a paraplegic graffiti writer, MC, producer, community leader, activist, who's in a wheelchair, and I got myself and a bunch of other motherfuckers who complain about how hard life is. But you got the motherfucking white-ass governor to declare November as National Hip Hop Month.
Yeah. Heavy.
And got
Yeah,
granted to get this motherfucker refurnished by his specifications so that we can continue to build foundations for other motherfuckers, which is kind of weird because my older generation, my predecessor generation, there was a few cats who I looked up to because they were welcoming, but there was a lot of cats who were just like, man, these young motherfuckers are disrespectful. An air that I feel with a lot of these mumble cats out here who disrespect the venue by spray painting and shit, not knowing the toil that motherfuckers had to go through to make the shit available for them. And I was like, I didn't learn back then, but they'll learn though. And trying to like make sure that I don't have to be that Nazi ass fucking like traditionalist and be like, yo, in order for you to understand this, you must understand what came before. You know what I mean? But cats come live their own lives and figure it out their own way until they need something from you, and then they gotta humble themselves. But just like I did, I didn't realize how disrespectful and obnoxious I was until somebody who I valued highly fucking checked me on my shit. And I was like, ooh, yeah, you're right. That is kind of fucked up. Shit.
Right,
I was at a funeral, huh?
How's it going?
Hey.
Oh, how are you?
Good,
Good to see you.
good.
So, you got any, positive, encouraging words for, any artists on the scene, any aspiring artists coming up in the community?
Definitely. Cultivate your art, man. Know how to articulate what you want and what you need. But understand that, like, in order for motherfuckers to give a fuck about what your message is, and you kind of need to give a fuck too about how it's received.
Yeah.
Being able to talk to blue collar, white collar is not taking away yourself. It's not being a fucking brown nose ass Uncle Tom ass motherfucker, because bonjour is still hello,
Right.
no matter how you say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to be multilingual. You need to be blendable. You need to be ninja-esque. You need to be adaptive. You need to be an assassin out here. And assassin doesn't necessarily mean motherfucking killed, but it needs to be
At attention.
it needs to be tactitional. You know, you need to be a
Tactical, yeah.
a tactical motherfucker. You need to be observant, and you need to have circular flow, because if on the real, if a motherfucker is coming at you, you're just gonna crash against him, and then now you both hurt.
Right.
And I'm speaking about that metaphorically too. You need to be able to just flip that on themselves, because they don't understand. Most motherfuckers don't know how toxic their language and their adjustments are, because every human being is a fucked up shadow of the parental theories.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents didn't have it all figured out.
Right.
No one ever had it all figured out, but we operating on our experiences, our traumas, and what our mom or dad said is the gospel truth.
Yeah.
And so now anybody who challenges that, because we don't have any back history on that back history,
Right.
we be like, guess we could.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I said so, G.
Right.
And fuck that.
Right.
One of my homies, he's
Can't
raising
be strong and wrong. You feel me?
Yo,
You got it.
my homie Benny, right?
Mm-hmm.
DJ Adios, one of the dopest producers. You know what I mean? But the truth be told, at face value, he's white, part native, white. He's raising 2 mixed daughters by themselves, by himself. They are beautiful, light skinned, big hair, growing up and doing their thing. But he speaks to them. I said so because you need to listen to me. Never that. This is what happens when you talk to people like that. It hurts their feelings. You don't like your feelings being hurt.
They become insulted.
Well, not even that. It's just that they understand the repercussions and are able to reflect how the mistreatment of others can be felt right then and there. Not wait for hella time and be like, remember that one time? I may not recall that one time. You know what I mean? I could be oblivious to that.
Yeah.
A lot of ways, I'm very unempathetic to a lot of motherfucking things.
Yeah.
Because I'm so indifferent, because with age, I become cynical, untrusting, and very just
Cautious.
indifferent. Well, and desensitized to a lot of
Right,
shit.
right. Good.
I'm like,
Yeah,
man,
right,
shit,
right.
look at that fucking squirrel.
Right.
Why the fuck is this motherfucker beating up a kitten, dog? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, nothing is different.
Yeah.
The thing is that I feel bad because I've shifted my perspectives.
Yeah.
But I used to tell
Well, you shouldn't
homeless,
feel bad, but
I used to tell homeless white people that I don't help white people,
why would you say that?
because I don't help white people,
Why?
because they run this shit. How are you gonna be homeless in a system that is geared to make sure that I don't survive? And you must be homeless by choice, because you have systems in place for you to get whatever the fuck you need.
Right.
And I don't. I just so happen to be kind of Asian. You know what I mean? It's
You
just
say
interesting.
kinda.
Well, dog, I can't speak my mother tongue, but I'm told all the time to go back to my motherfucking country.
Yeah.
When I'm American, what the fuck is the color of America?
Right, that part.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing is that, like, my dad was a Marine. He had motherfucking people, fellow Americans, call him Gook to his face. And he was the armorer. So what did he do?
He handled the guns.
Yeah. And sent your racist ass into the field with a not working gun. Watch what you say, motherfucker. Who you calling gook, homeboy? And we in Vietnam?
Oh.
You must think you. Oh, damn, you're hard. You are the hardest motherfucker.
He said that we in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Oh, you
must have an iron stomach because you just told the chef to fuck your food, motherfucker. Fuck your nasty ass food. Let me get a plate.
Wow.
I'll be safe. Trust me.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? That's the type of shit that we deal with. And what's crazy is that all these protests, all people of color try to appeal to white humanity.
Yeah.
And they're doing it in such people of color are doing it in such a gentle fashion.
Yeah.
You know, white people have the audacity to be like, they destroy property. They're terrorists. Property can be replaced, bro. Possessions can be replaced.
Yeah.
You motherfuckers destroy entire civilizations and their histories and their languages and make it illegal for them to speak their mother tongue. Dog, make motherfuckers cut their hair and sever their fucking indigenous everything, dude. Displace them, turn them into fucking 5 fingers when 5 severed fingers don't make a fist.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just a pile of fingers.
Right.
That's the type of shit that, namaste.
Yeah.
No, you must go.
Right.
No.
He said, no, Mr. No, but you must
No,
go.
you must go. No. Man, fuck that.
All right, man. Look, Rufio,
Oh, yeah,
it's
my
been
bad.
good, man. It's been
On
good.
a dark
Look,
note.
But
Yeah.
I mean, look, if you want to go ahead and drop some shout outs before we cut out, man, let's
Yo,
hear it.
shit, Mad Crew, man, DJ Scene, Dirty Dev, Kaz the Silent Night, man, shit, Ernesto, Nomad, Angel 179, Apple, Kaz, man, all the 206 homies, 425, man, shit, everybody, Benny, OC Notes, Gabe Teodros, Khalil Crisis, you know, Kings, aka Kings, Mike Flaunt, man, doing big things right now, Jarv D, Germ Dubois, man, Gifted Gab is doing big things, man. Man, Sabzi, my guy, doing things. Wow, Crick and Mike Flaunt doing their artistic and musical thing. Shit, man, there's so many genres. Again, you know, you just can't hit up everybody.
Right. You gonna miss somebody.
Has so much talent, it's ridiculous.
Different eras, generations.
Yeah, man, I'm saying check out the documentary called Blank Canvas. I kind of wormed my way to be.
That was the 23rd and Union.
Blank Canvas is a documentary about the misrepresentation of Seattle hip hop. Like, why hasn't Seattle blown up in hip hop, and why is Macklemore the most famous out of Seattle hip hop besides Sir Mix-a-Lot? Why is there such a big gap? Is because motherfuckers don't. You know, well, it explains that. But I somehow wormed myself into being an associate producer.
Oh shit!
Of the film, and I don't give the best interview because I'm in a darker place at that time.
Right.
But,
I'll be sure to check that one out.
Just don't talk to me about it later. Just be like, yo, you checked it out, because besides my idiocracy, like, yo,
you don't need to revisit that shit.
I'm good. That's all right.
Right. All right, Rufio. Look, man, it's been great, man. Thanks for coming through. You know what I mean? And until next time, we out.